The Mansfield Business Alliance recently released their 40 under 40 list. Now 40 people who are under the age of 40 who are the next generation of leaders here in Mansfield. And in the studio today is one of those 40 under 40. She's an award-winning educator turned certified professional photographer with a passion for capturing life's most authentic moments. From weddings, family portraits, to branding and real estate, she brings storytelling and emotion to every image. She's based in downtown Mansfield. She helps run Daydream Photography, all the while teaching real estate agents across North Texas how to level up their visual branding. She's also, this is really cool, a licensed drone pilot. And we welcome Katharine Gann to About Mansfield.
Thank you.
How's it feel to be a 40 under 40?
A little surreal, to be honest. Growing up in the backwoods of North Alabama, I never would have thought I would make it to Texas, much less on an esteemed list in the business world.
Let's talk about the backwoods of Alabama. Where are you? You're obviously from Alabama. Let's drill in a little closer. Where are you from?
From North Alabama, close to Florence. And if you're not sure where Florence is, it's close to Huntsville, which is 2 hours north of Birmingham. So typically one of those someone can relate to. You
have not always been in the photography business. You started as a teacher.
I did, yes.
And tell me about your teaching experience.
So my background is in public education. I was a fifth grade educator for 2 years in Alabama and then in Bryan. And then when I moved up to Fort Worth, I switched down to kindergarten. So I was in the kindergarten classroom at Castleberry ISD for 3 years.
In Fort Worth?
In Fort Worth, yes. West Fort, a tiny little town called River Oaks. So, yes.
And Teacher of the Year.
Yes, yes.
So you must have been good at what you did.
I loved it. I loved working with the kids. I was a curriculum writer. I loved helping, professionally build up my colleagues, and the technology aspect of it was one of my favorite parts. One
of the questions that I've been asking almost every 40 under 40 is what's been your biggest challenge? And you were a teacher in 2020.
I was, yes.
And would teaching through COVID be your biggest challenge?
It was up there, paired with the decision to career change. I think both of those put together. And of course, as a photographer, part of why I did wait so long before I went full time is because when you move, you lose all of your clientele. And so you start over in a local area. No one's driving from Alabama to Texas for photos. So, but that decision paired with the challenges that COVID presented in 2020 kind of pushed me off the cliff to take the leap to full time. So
you were a teacher full time. If your bio is correct, teacher full time. Then you went teaching and photography.
Yes,
and now you are a full time photographer.
Correct.
Working with Landon there at Daydream.
Yes.
You are, as a 40 under 40, a leader in the community. You're aware of that?
Yes.
Okay. Was this something that you were striving to be when Katharine was 10 years old? I want to be a leader in the community. Or was this something that just kind of fell in your lap?
It was, I wouldn't say fell in my lap, but I wouldn't also say that was necessarily a goal of mine. I really haven't ever been about like the accolades and recognition. I'd rather kind of hide in the back of the room, but it just kind of, we've been, we believe that when God opens a door that we walk through it, or at least poke our head inside and see what's in there. So going from, the education world, stepping into photography full time, and then taking on more responsibilities on my photography team kind of forced me into a leadership role.
Before we started recording, you were telling me how busy your studio is.
Yes.
And so that leads into the next question of work-life balance. What do you do in your off time, and how much off time do you get?
It can definitely be a challenge. And it's funny you asked that this week because Landon and our admin, Dalen, have both been out of town all week. So I've been 3 people this week.
Oh, wow.
So there hasn't been a lot of work-life balance. But typically, we do try to, we say train our agents. Of course, we try to, tell people we have a life outside of work. And if you're texting me at 8 p.m., it might be 8 a.m. before you hear back from me. But
Who in the community has been your influences along the way to where you are now?
I would definitely say Landon as my photography mentor. And, you know, he's the one that took a chance on me to hire me full time out of the education world. So he definitely has been my biggest, you know, career influence. A lot of our real estate agents are incredible as well. I mean, if I sat here and tried to name names, I would get in trouble because I would leave someone out. But there so many real estate agents just do have that amazing professional skill set. And I try to take bits and pieces of each person that I come in contact with and blend those all. They say that you're the sum of the few people that you spend the most time around. So I just try to put myself around successful people and learn from them.
If you were to go back to the backwoods of Alabama, and if you were able to meet 10-year-old Katharine face to face, what advice would you give her?
I would tell her to buckle up.
Buckle up.
Yes. Yes. I mean, I went from, you know, small town girl to I became a travel nanny in college with a family that gave me a whole lot of really awesome, really crazy life experiences. And then from there to the classroom and from there to photography, which has also given me some really cool life adventures. I have this running thing of office of the day that I'll post on social media because I'm never in a true office. It doesn't seem like. So yesterday, my office was on a $13.5 million ranch that's actually listed for sale if you're interested in West Fort Worth. But going and doing branding photos for the agent there, and it might be in Denver for a medical conference where I'm doing physician headshots, or just wherever the clients are, that's where we go to. So
your office of the day.
Yes, my office of the day.
Tell me about being a drone pilot. How did you? Because I own a drone.
Yes.
It's like that big,
right?
And you can't run it during a windy day because it's there's no controlling.
There are limits.
But yeah, tell me about being a drone pilot.
So that was one of the requirements, that you have to be a licensed drone pilot in order to use your images commercially. And if there's money exchanged for those images, then of course that then becomes a commercial product. So in order to legally operate the drone and use it for daydream purposes for our real estate photography, then I did need to get a license. And so initially, I purchased it thinking, oh, this is going to be fun for vacation photos. Yeah. But then I, kind of started talking with Landon, and I was like, I think I can make some money with this thing. And so in 2019, I got my drone license. And then ironically, that had set me up that summer before I went back to teaching. That set me up for the 2019-2020 school year, which I had no clue that was coming. But now we've actually grown to where we have 7 female licensed drone pilots on our team. And that has to be some kind of a record somewhere. And then, of course, we have a couple of guys as well. But I just think it's so cool that I've now been able to help mentor the other girls on our team through the process to get their license.
So a $13 million ranch, you would take the drone out there and fly it not only around the house, but around the property.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. Our typical drone add-on for real estate is 5 basic photos that just show the corners of the property and maybe 190 degrees down, just to show where everything is in relation to each other. But of course, for ranch and large acreage, we're packing up and we're hopping on the side-by-side and taking off down to the barn and then to the pond and then to this was a training facility for cutting horses. So we might do some of the arena. So it's a different ball game when you get into the large acreage world, for sure.
Do you drone inside the house?
I have before, and I say that very hesitantly. I will definitely measure the risk versus benefit before I do that. And most of what I've done recently has been for Home Zone Furniture with their warehouse, and we've done a lot of drone work for them. In fact, I don't know if you saw the viral Luca commercial where Bree sat down with the sofa and had to inform it that they were trading their best-selling sofa. But then, of course, in the end, they brought the trade back. But they spoofed the Luca trade when he came back to Dallas to play, and all of the drone work in that commercial I filmed. So that's a big open warehouse, right? And on my future to-do list is to get an FPV drone, or first-person view, which is you're in the goggles and you're flying as you're viewing it. So there's some really cool creative content potential with those, and that's on my bucket list.
Very cool. Very cool. So you're expanding your experience.
Yes.
I always like to conclude these interviews with basically an open mic. If you have any shout outs, if you have any thank yous, if you have any words of advice, anything that's on your mind, Katharine, the mic is yours. And
Perfect. Thank you. Yeah, no pressure. I mean, of course, to my mentors in the photography world, I've been super blessed to. I feel like that the people that have come into my life have been very, very big blessings and have entered my life just at the exact right time. And the connections I've been able to make, and in and out of Mansfield both. But I actually have moved to Mansfield since I started working here, and I've just loved the community that's found in this town. So thank you very much for having me as well. I appreciate the feature.
Katharine Gann.
Nice to meet you.
40 under 40. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And thanks for being on About Mansfield.
Yes, thank you.